Welcome back to the D-Row Bets channel, and it is week 3 of the 2025 MLS season. We have had 2 winning weeks so far on the Best Bets video, so very happy about that. If you've cashed with me, do me a couple of favors. Can you give me the thumbs up? It helps grow the channel a bunch. Give me a comment of which play you like the most from this video, and then also make sure to subscribe, of course. It really helps the channel grow. I really appreciate it. I have got 5 picks, full unit plays that we will get into for 2025 week 3. Also share a couple of thoughts that we've seen so far from week 2. So let's get right into it. So looking back at week 2 of the season, it was a winning week, folks. We've had 2 winning weeks to start the year. We were up about a third of a unit overall. Let's go over the plays really quick. I actually thought 5 out of the 6 reads were pretty good. So first off, Charlotte beats Atlanta 2-0. If you'd told me Charlotte would score 2 goals in this game, I would have thought going over the both teams scoring over 2.5 would have hit easily. But, that's the way it goes. Atlanta couldn't find a goal. The really bad read, I don't mind losing this way. It wasn't even close. Cincinnati, they got their butts kicked. Bad read there. And look, we're not going to be betting on CONCACAF Champions Cup teams going forward if they're still in the tournament. We just can't. I violated one of my rules, so we're not going to do that anymore. I said last week, for Montreal +1 to not hit, Minnesota had to score twice, or we couldn't lose that bet. Minnesota didn't score twice. They should have won that game. I think 1-0 was a fair result, but we pushed that one. And then the win, San Jose. Boy, we're going to keep riding them. You'll hear about that in a second, but they easily cleared the double chance against Sporting Kansas City. Inter Miami, that line got crazy. I wish I had just taken the Inter Miami money line there, because if you did, you were probably at more units this week than I was. But Inter Miami, no problem against Houston. And then the Chicago Fire team total going over 1.5. I'm really proud of that read as well, because as I said last week on the video, I don't trust them to get the result, but I did trust them to get 2 goals, and they did. So now a couple of things we learned from week 2. Backing CONCACAF Champions Cup teams, you can't do it. They are on the ban list until we get through that tournament. Once someone is eliminated, then we can start looking at them again, but you are not going to see me betting on a CONCACAF Champions Cup team going forward. And then we are going to have to start paying attention to FC Dallas and overs, because they are just playing no defense right now. The new coach, Eric Quill, my friend Armand Kafai, maybe you read his work in a lot of different places. He has talked about the chaos ball that they are playing right now. It's really fun to watch, and we're going to be backing some FC Dallas overs, and then again, Austin unders. They are just not creating anything, but they're not giving up anything either. So let's get into the 5 picks I have locked in for MLS Week 3. Now, there is a reason why I put this video out so early, and actually a lot of the views come in the last 24 hours, but by then the lines have moved. And if you got on this early, you got great closing line value on almost every single play we had this week, last week. So, I want to get this out on Mondays. I want you guys to be able to get into that line value before it starts moving to spots that you can't play, because a lot of these plays, frankly, last week got unplayable. You can't be playing -150, -160. I've talked about that. So, my first play of the weekend. So my first full unit play of the weekend will be in Columbus, where Houston is traveling to face the Crew, and I'm going under 2.5 goals, coming in at +115. Now, first off, you are getting Columbus in the middle of the CONCACAF Champions League match days against LAFC. So they will be playing in between those matches, with obviously they are going to be prioritizing. They've already got 6 points from their first 2 games, so they can certainly stand to get a draw at home. I would not expect a super strong lineup against Houston on Saturday. They're going against a Dynamo team that is creating nothing right now. They just got done with 2 home games. They lost both of them. They scored 2 goals, didn't create much against Inter Miami last week on Sunday. They only had 1 chance over 0.9 XG against an Inter Miami team that has not been great defensively so far this year. And against FC Dallas, they really created nothing as well. They are a team that had the second fewest expected goals on the road last season. So they're not a team that opens up. And to me, this is one that Columbus will be looking for 1-0. Houston will just be looking to get their first point. So first unit play, we're going to go Columbus, Houston under 2.5 goals at +115. So our second full unit play of the weekend, This one is a little juicy, but it's right on the edge of what I would play, and I think it's worth it. I think this line will move quite a bit more before the match kicks off on Saturday. I already mentioned this one on Twitter at DRobets underscore. We're going with the FC Dallas team total over 1.5 in their home opener against the Chicago Fire. Again, minus 135 on that play. Now, FC Dallas is just a completely different team in 2025 with Eric Quill as their coach, as Armand Kafai dubbed. It's just chaos ball right now. They're not stopping. They're not content to get results on the road, hold on to a draw. Against Colorado, a 3-3 draw, they created 5 chances of 0.15 XG or better. That is very impressive to do in Colorado at the altitude. They were pressing and pushing even towards the end of 90 minutes, which shows they are a team that's in really good fitness right now early in the season if they're doing that at altitude in the second game of the season. And then Chicago, on the other hand, we've seen enough to know they're not a great team defensively. They're shaky at the back. And what has FC Dallas been doing very well? They've been pressuring the defensive back four. I think they're going to force Chicago into a mistake or two. You've got Lucho Acosta, Petar Musa, so many options there. Don't trust FC Dallas to get the result. We have seen their defense is shaky as well. They've given up 4 goals in these first 2 matches. But that over 1.5 team total, I think this is something I'm going to be playing and looking towards a lot this year in MLS matches when the number is playable. FC Dallas over 1.5 goals, minus 135, the second full unit play. Now, our third full unit play, again, not the most exciting plays in the world, but we are going Austin hosting Colorado, another game in Texas, under 2.5 goals, coming in at plus 110. I'll be honest with you guys, I feel really dumb not betting that Austin under at Portland last week. I think that was about as big of a layup as there might be early in the season. And this is just a trend we are going to keep riding, the Austin unders. Nico Estevez is a coach that, dating back to the start of the 2023 season when he was the coach of FC Dallas. So you've got the entire 2023 season, half of 2024, and a couple games here in 2025. Nico Stevich coached teams have scored multiple goals in 16 out of those 56 games. 16 out of his last 56 games. So 16 and 40 in his last 56 games, going over 1.5 goals. So right off the bat right there, I feel really good about the under 2.5. Colorado is a team that I think got a little bit tired, a little bit sloppy last week. I think they're going to be looking to keep that defense in, stay compact on the road, whereas Austin just doesn't have that offensive creator right now. I am a little bit worried Mirto Ozuni might be starting his first game to create some there, but this is just a team that is keeping it tight at the back, waiting for their chances. They probably didn't deserve to lose that game in Portland. And I just think asking 3 goals out of this game and asking 3 goals out of any game involving Austin this year, if you're giving me plus money, I'm going to be taking it a lot early. So the third play of the week is going to be Austin versus Colorado under 2.5 goals, coming in at plus 110. Now, again, guys, I know it may not be the most exciting thing in the world to be playing a lot of the same plays over and over, but I just see advantages in these numbers right now. And we've seen with other results around the league, teams in CONCACAF Champions Cup, which are typically the better teams that you would want to be packing to win. We can't do that right now because they're just going to be throwing up bizarre results. So we're going to go back to the well on San Jose yet again. If they keep giving us the number, we are going to keep taking it. And we are going to take San Jose Earthquakes, draw no bet, minus 130 at home against Minnesota United. So I said last week, San Jose is not going to lose a lot of games this year, and especially at home. I don't think they're going to lose more than 2 or 3 home games this year. So if you're giving me the draw no bet at minus 130, they just have so much firepower right now. They scored multiple goals at Sporting Kansas City on Saturday. Of course, Arango scores 3 minutes into the second game when I backed them to score in the last game. Minnesota does look good defensively, but I think San Jose has enough in this one. And again, with that draw no bet, you have the safety net of a draw, and you don't lose any of your money here. We've seen both. I was maybe thinking about playing the under, but we've seen the San Jose games go over 2.5. I wanted to stay off of that. I just don't see San Jose losing at home very often this year, especially outside of the top probably 5 teams in MLS. So minus 130 full unit play on San Jose, draw no bet. All right, now MLS, you got to figure out what you're doing with Sunday Night Soccer. NBC Sunday Night Football has the ability to flex out games, and this LA Galaxy St. Louis City game, only sickos are going to be wanting to watch this. This is a game you want to flex out, but money is money, right? And I love betting on these Sunday Night Soccer games. And to me, the play that sticks out most, and I think it's a really good play, is going to be St. Louis City plus 1 goal at minus 120. Now, just like I was saying earlier, to lose this bet, the LA Galaxy will have to score 2 goals. The LA Galaxy have the fewest expected goals created in the Western Conference. They've scored 1 goal so far in 2 games this season, and I don't really see them scoring twice. I'm not even sure they're going to score once. We're playing a Galaxy team that is in playing St. Louis in between having to go to Costa Rica to face Herediano in midweek. Then they're going to come back to LA to try and get past them. Of course, they will be prioritizing those 2 CONCACAF Champions Cup matches. So they've got St. Louis City coming in for a Sunday night match. If you're giving me them +1 goal at -120, I'm going to take it. I think it's much more likely that St. Louis City gets a result in this one rather than losing by multiple goals. So the next play is going to be St. Louis City full unit +1 at -120 against the LA Galaxy. So those are going to be my 5 full unit plays for week 3 of the 2025 MLS season. Let me know in the comments if you have been cashing with me in these first 2 weeks. Give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. Let me know what other picks I missed, and stay tuned the entire week as we are talking CONCACAF Champions Cup and then looking at player props later in the week. Thanks for watching.